Hello, my name is Ron Shirley here at JTech Relay. I'm going to be explaining components of the cylinder heads, what their functions are, what they do. I'm going to explain timing, why timing is so important, what it does for your car. And then we're going to be doing a plastic gauge on a crankshaft that's stored in the motor. Okay, so we're going to start off with the heads of the vehicle. This is the top of the head here, and then I have the bottom of the head over here. We're going to start with the top. First, down in the middle, you have your camshaft. On these camshafts, you have the lobes. The lobes are used in this application that pushes on these rocker arms, which is on the rocker shaft, which actually pushes these springs down to open up the valves, and then when the rocker arm comes back up, the springs pull the valve shut. That will bring air in or push air out depending on what cycle or stroke you're on. And this one,
Are these both
okay, so on the bottom of this head, you have around each cylinder are these water jackets all the way around, and then you have these oil passages all the way around on the motor. On each motor or each cylinder, you're going to have valves. There's going to be two different kind of valves: the intake and the exhaust. Intake are always going to be larger than the exhaust. In this application, we actually have the spark plug in the center. And then what these valves do is whenever they get opened, this one air will come in to the cylinder, then it'll close, and then the cycle will go through, and then the other side will actually open and the exhaust will go out. And on these heads, what you're always going to have is some kind of gasket or sealant to keep it from leaking. Another way that you can tell is with these holes right here. They're extremely dirty. They're a lot dirtier than this side over here. That's because this side over here is the intake. The other side is the exhaust, and all the burnt fuel is going to actually coat the metal and cause it to get extremely dirty. And this is one of your basic designs. This is just a pent roof, and the different roofs or different styles have different actual combustion, and it'll cause different types of performance out of each one. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the timing of an engine. You can either have a timing belt or a timing chain. This one actually has two different belts, and so this is for the camshaft, the pulley for the camshaft. What this does is it turns as this crankshaft pulley is turning from the crankshaft being moved, or by the rotational force of it, and it's rotating this one belt that goes around here, which is also rotating the small pulley back here, which then actually connects to the camshaft. The camshaft actually, when it's rotating, it has lobes on it, and it's opening or closing valves, depending on what stroke it's at. If the camshaft and the crankshaft timings are not correct, then you'll have major issues within the head of the motor, where your valves could open too soon or too late, causing either misfires, no fires. You can actually have it to where it idles very rough, runs rough, and then you can actually, at one point, if you have an interference motor, you can bend or break the actual valves, and when that happens, then you just have to replace all the valves and possibly the pistons as well. So this motor has two tensioners, one in the front, then one in the back behind the first one. What these do is they tighten the actual belts to keep the tension on them so they don't fall off. If it's not too tight, like this right here, this could actually slip and slip out of place and cause it to get off timing. It could actually damage the belt. On this pulley here, these two are balancers. There's marks. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little notch here which lines up in this little gap, and then on this one there's this notch here with this notch here. They're supposed to be lined up. If they're not lined up, it can be out of time and it will cause it to run bad. Alright, now we're going to do the plastic gauge. What you're going to do is just go ahead and find whatever motor you're going to work on, whatever journal you want to look at. And you're going to take the end cap off of the crankshaft. And what you're going to do is you're going to go and get whatever scale you're going to have for your application. Plastic gauge, it's a little piece of plastic. And what you're going to do is you're going to set it on the middle of the journal. Make sure first you clean the journals with denatured alcohol. Make sure the engine is cold. An engine that's classified as cold has to sit at least 8 hours without being ran. Okay. And then what you want to do, put the plastic gauge on your journal. Whenever you put the cap on, make sure nothing rotates because you want it to go down on even so it doesn't smear the plastic gauge. What you want to do when you tighten it, now so now that you got it hand tight, you want to torque it evenly on both sides. Torque it to specs because you want it to it'd be as if the car is currently in use, it's rotating, and it'll show you whatever clearance you have for the bearing. Actual journal for the oil clear. And then you're just gonna take it back off. Make sure not to allow it to rotate or anything, shift anyway, because then you can just ruin what you're doing. Pause it. And then what you do is you take here, it's got a little scale on it. You put it up to the plastic gauge, and whatever scale it's in between, that's actually your clearance. And some people like it to be a tight clearance. Some people like it loose. Some people, it's whatever preference you have to the motor. And that's how you use plastic gauge.